So I've just completed my 6th semester in my NP program. I have one more semester to go, and I'm going to tell you all about that 6th semester and what I'm doing to get ready for that last one that's coming up. Hang on. Hey, my name is Rick. I'm a registered nurse and a nurse practitioner student. The Psychiatric Nurse Practitioner program is what I'm a part of. And here on my channel, I talk about my experiences in nurse practitioner school, things that are working, the things that aren't working, and maybe help you be better prepared if this is something that you want to do as well. So I just recently completed my 6th semester of my nurse practitioner program. I have a 7-semester program, so just one more to go. This was also the second of my 3 clinical rotation semesters. Now, my 6th semester was pretty quick. It was over the summer, which was only a 10-week semester. Normally, I have almost 15 weeks to complete my clinicals. So it was very, very hectic. We had a lot that had to be done during that semester. Had more hours to get done in a shorter period of time. But hey, I've been blessed with a great preceptor. We worked very hard and we got it all put together. So the 6th semester did not have any kind of classroom instruction. In fact, when I finished my 5th semester, that was the end of all the classroom instruction. All of that I was going to learn from a lecture standpoint and testing standpoint was accomplished in the semesters prior to that, which was kind of a relief to have a short semester and not have tests, exams and discussion boards and all that kind of stuff that had to be done. That's not to say there weren't tests though. Our school has given us a program called Board Vitals, which is a test bank of questions that we're likely going to see, or similar questions that we're likely going to see on our NP board certification exam. So that was helpful. I did have an assignment of 30 questions that I had to do every single week. And then we, of course, got a lot of feedback on that, and that has been very, very helpful. So what did I get out of my 6th semester, out of my 2nd semester of clinical rotation? Well, the number one thing that I got out of this was confidence. I really felt way more comfortable, way more confident going in and seeing patients than I did in that first semester of clinicals. And I guess that's pretty logical that you would feel that way. I've had a great arrangement with my preceptor where I would go in all by myself, do the assessments with the patient, ask the questions, formulate a diagnosis and a plan going forward. Then my preceptor and I would get together, very briefly discuss that, and we would go in and present that to the patient. 9 times out of 10, well, even better than 9 times out of 10, I was right in agreement with the same thing that my preceptor would have done. So it gave me a tremendous amount of confidence, understanding that I knew way more than I actually thought I did. The other thing in the 6th semester that I got a lot better at, and that was documentation. In fact, for the patients that I did see in that semester, I did almost all of the documentation. Wrote the notes, wrote the prescriptions, filled in all of the required pieces, even filled in the billing codes on behalf of my preceptor. She just went through and checked it all after it was done. In fact, after the semester was over, a week or so later, I got a text from her where she said, "Oh, I'm so frustrated today, I have to do my own documentation." So that was really nice validation to know that I was not only learning something, but also contributing to her workload, or contributing to easing her workload as a person in the office with them. That was over about 2 weeks ago. So I've got almost 4 weeks before I start my 7th and final semester, and I'm about, I guess, 2 weeks away from that happening as well. So here's what I'm going to be up to in the next semester and what I'm doing now to get ready for that, for graduation, and for my certification exams. In the 7th semester, I have even more clinical hours that I have to accomplish. I've started with 120 hours in the first clinical semester, and now I'm doing double that in my last clinical semester, 240 hours. So I've added a new clinical site to my clinical rotations for this coming semester. In fact, just a few minutes ago, I got off the phone with my preceptor at the new site, getting things arranged. A week from today, yeah, hard to believe. No, 2 weeks from today, I will be starting on that new clinical site, in addition to the one I've been going to since the beginning of the year when I started my first rotation. So some of the things that I've been doing, getting prepared, is one, there's a lot of paperwork. This new clinical site is a government, federal government focused site. So there was a tremendous amount of paperwork and bureaucracy to go through to get ready for that. So I've been working on that and almost got that completely done. I have to go there again on, I'm recording this on a Thursday. I'll have to go there again on Monday to do some more paperwork, and then I should be ready to go with that site. That is going to be a completely virtual clinical assignment for me and for my preceptor. I will continue to go to the site I've been going to since the first of the year, and I've got all that worked out. That's ready to go. That'll start in a couple of weeks as well. I will also have a class in addition to my clinical hours. Now the class is our capstone class, and if you've watched any of my videos, you may be familiar with what that's all about. Think of the capstone project in your nurse practitioner graduate program as something similar to a master's thesis that you might do in some other type of master's program. We got started on that way back 2 semesters ago, and I've probably written about 75% of my capstone project. At the end, it's going to be a 30-page type of fully cited project. My project is a quality improvement project, and I have to write it up as if I were going to implement this in a healthcare organization. So we have a class that's going to lead us through the final parts of that. That class is going to have some discussion boards, and there are going to be regular writing assignments due throughout the next semester. So I will be working on that. In addition, I will be in my clinical rotation, and I will have all the administrative stuff that goes along with that. If you've seen my video about kind of the week in the life of a PMHNP student, where I described the effort and the amount of work that I was doing in my first clinical rotation, you'll get an idea of what that is going to be like coming up in the next semester. Pretty much the same kind of administrative stuff that has to be done. In addition to that, I have those board vital quizzes, which I will be doing every week going into the 7th semester, this next semester. And that's something that's going to be due each and every week, usually 30 to 50 questions. It is an open book test, but it's really tough. I mean, there are very challenging questions. I have never gotten better than a 90 on those tests, and that's even with open book. And from what I hear from my classmates, that's pretty consistent across the board among all of us. Another thing that is happening in this next semester is we have this big final exam. It's kind of like the final exam for the master's program. But this is going to be covering everything we have learned up to this point, very, very similar to the board certification exam. So I've been using board certification preparation materials to study and prepare for this exam as well. I don't expect this to be a very easy exam to take. So I have been spending daily here in the off semester, in between semesters, 2 hours a day going through my board certification materials to prepare for that exam the school is going to give. In addition, I am starting to study for the boards. I want to take my board certification exam as soon after I graduate as absolutely possible. So I've begun the review process already. It's going to help me in clinicals. It's going to help me with this exam the school is giving us coming up. But more importantly, I want to be prepared for that board certification exam so I can take it right away. So I guess that would be the other thing that I'm doing here in between semesters, is preparing for the board certification exam. And finally, the third thing that I'm doing in between semesters is I have really taken my job search up a notch. Now you might be saying, hey Rick, how can you be searching for a job? You haven't even graduated yet. Well, let me tell you, it's never too early to look for a job. So what I've been doing is I created a spreadsheet of all the potential companies that I would want to work for as a PMHNP, as a psychiatric nurse practitioner. And I have been going through LinkedIn, going through the company websites, identifying contact people, identifying people I already knew in my community or people I already knew in the healthcare industry here in my community that might work there, and I've begun to make those contacts with the organization. I've already had 4 conversations. Now these are very preliminary conversations with companies that I might want to go to work for. They've been very receptive. We both agreed that it's probably way too early to start doing any kind of interviews, and that really wasn't my goal, was to get an interview. My goal was to get on their radar screen. My goal was to get them to start thinking about me as a potential candidate for when I do graduate. I do hope in the last month of school that I will be on interviews. In fact, I think I probably will. I've already got some organizations that have told me to get back with them in a couple of months so we can start the interview process. So I do think I'll be going on some interviews that last month of school and getting ready. Now I can't take the certification exam until I've actually graduated. That's going to be in the middle of December for me this year. I'm recording this in August, so in the middle of December I'll be graduating, and then as soon after that as possible I will take the certification exam. So that will get one requirement for employment off the table as soon as I can. 2 other things that I'm going to have, 2 other things that any nurse practitioner is going to have before they start working. One is that NPI number, that National Prescriber Identification Number, which you can apply for. I just found this out a couple of weeks ago. You can apply for that well before you graduate. So in the next week, I will be doing the paperwork to apply for that so that I will have my NPI before I even finish school. The second piece of all this is you have to get registered with the DEA to be able to prescribe controlled substances. That takes some time, and I'm not going to be able to do that probably until after I graduate. I'm still looking into that. If I learn anything different, I'll let you know. Hey, so this has just been a quick update on how my 6th semester went. That was the 2nd clinical semester. What I'm doing to get ready for my 7th and last semester, and what I'm getting ready. I'm already planning for what I'm going to do even after graduation happens. So if you found this video to be helpful, if you like this content, it really is helpful if you could subscribe to our channel. It's really helpful if you could click that thumbs up button and give it a like, and even that notification bell. Also, if you think this content would be helpful to fellow students, please share the video with them. We also have a community of fellow nurse practitioner students, and that's something if you want to be a part of, no cost, no charge to be a part of that. There's a link down in the description, and then I will also put that link in the comments for this video. Click on that and you can get in touch with us that way. You'll also have access to a lot of downloads, cheat sheets, notes and things that I've created. Some of it is specific to psychiatric nurse practitioner. Not all of it is, but you'll have access to everything that's in there. And you can email me if you have questions about that as well. So thanks for listening. I hope to see you again in my next video. Any questions, put them in the comments. If you've been with me for any time, you know I answer every single one of them. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon.